gonna make some Haitian spaghetti. So I chopped up 1 onion. I have green pepper, and I'm not gonna use spaghetti. I'm using panini because that's what the kids wanted. So I have the panini. I'm using 2 bags of these. Some, as you can see over here, some olive oil and salt. Put some salt in it and some water, just in your liking of how you want it. But you boil it, obviously. Boil the water, and then once the water boils, put the panini in, or spaghetti. I will demonstrate afterwards. I know some people think it's gross, but my kids like hot dogs in their spaghetti. But it does taste really good, so I will show you guys when you try it and see how it tastes. What the next step is right now. Cut these up into a couple of parts, like 4 or 5 pieces. Cut these up, and then we're cutting the onions, and then I'm going to cut the bell peppers. As you can see, I have my hot dogs, the green bell peppers, and some onions, and I have the panini boiling. I'm about to take it out. With the spaghetti or panini, obviously you want it cooked, however to your liking. I don't like mine too soft or too hard, so I like to look at to see if it's cooked. If it's still a little white, I tend to put it back in, as you can see. So I'm gonna give it a few more minutes to cook. Usually if I have spaghetti, I would throw it against the microwave that I have above me. So I'm gonna try it. It's still a little hard. It's not that soft yet, so I'm gonna keep boiling. I also have my I like mids. I also like to use some shredded cheese. I'm gonna use it in the sauce, as you can see. And then I can show you here what other. I like to use classical as well sometimes for my liking. But today we're using mids, and then I will be back to show you how I start everything else in the process. My panini's out. I'm just eye viewing this right now, so I'm just putting some oil. I use olive oil. Since it's already hot, I'm gonna take, in my last video, this is a seasoning I made, and I have a few jars like this already, so I'm gonna take a spoon of that and put it in. Probably a handful. Ooh, and it's sizzling. So once that's going, I'm gonna stir it a little bit. Bring down the heat. Smells good. That's turned out. I dropped my spoon in there. Now I'm gonna bring over all of this. I did cut up a small tomato that I had left over, so I'm just gonna bring this over. As you can see, I'm gonna just slide everything in. I'm gonna increase the temperature to 6. on the stove. So I'm gonna add all these together. There that comes. You can see it all in there. So I'm going to increase the heat a little, and then probably add a little bit more olive oil. I'm going to use ground pepper when I put the, and then I'm going to use some onion, well, this one's a garlic powder, and this one's onion powder. You use as your liking, whichever kind you have. Some parsley, and then some sazon, and then a little bit of thyme. And then what I'm gonna do next is, once I put the spaghetti sauce in there, probably put like a little bit of sugar in there, because I do tend to get heartburn sometimes. So I'm gonna let this simmer and I will come back. So as you can see, it started to brown. So now I'm gonna put my spaghetti sauce in there. I don't put the whole thing because my kids don't like it too much, so I have to water it down a little bit. So I'm gonna get just add a little bit. So I stir that in. And then I'll add 2 teaspoons of sugar to dilute it. Sorry, I have to take this call. I'll be right back. So this is how it's looking so far. Sorry about that. So it looks really, really good. So now I'm gonna add some ground pepper. Some sazon. Everything, what I'm doing is to my liking of how much I want it to taste like. So I like parsley, so I stir that in. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Just to loosen it up a little. Sometimes I usually use some chicken broth, but I don't have none today. So now I'm gonna taste it before I put the cheese in. Okay, tastes really good. Now I'm gonna put my cheese. And then I'm gonna take some shredded cheese. I love cheese, by the way. So I'm gonna put lots of cheese. This is how I do mine. Haitian spaghetti. Some people do theirs a little bit different. I know how to do the original, but I'm doing it how my kids like it. So I guess it's Daphne's way of doing spaghetti. So if you want to see how it looks, this is how it's looking so far. Nice and cheesy. Yummy. So I'm gonna taste it again. I'm gonna taste it again to see if it's good. So now I'm gonna just add the panini in. I mix it all together. If I'm by myself and I don't have the kids that weekend, if I want to make a pasta for myself, I usually do the sauce separate. But I am not doing that today, so I'm going to mix it in. So I'm going to use a metal spoon to scrape the bottom to get everything up on top. So I'll show you. Turn off the heat down, and it's all done. And then if you have leftover and you want to eat it 2 days in a row and you still have leftover, you're more than welcome to freeze it and put it in the freezer, and then warm it up again, and add a little bit more spaghetti sauce to get it juicy again and working, and we'll fix it up again. Hope you like it. Subscribe to my video below. I hope you guys enjoy, and hope you guys try this out. And don't judge. I know I put hot dogs, but sometimes looks can be deceiving.